Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Yes! I was on the screen a little early. Ha ha! Well, whatever. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where sometimes you get to see my face in some bonus time. And I know you just love that, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. And I was here a little earlier than I thought I'd be. So anyway, hey, let's get the show started because I'm late. This is early for me, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, by the way, oh my goodness, we got numbers flowing already. Look at that. There's the first donation of the day, Mr. Gunfox61, and you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Dropping Hamilton's in the tip jar more than once because there's another one coming. I see it. Oh, yeah, another one. And he's dropping some articles trying to get my head to explode. I know how this works. And so there you go, dropping Hamilton number 2. And oh my goodness, he's got number 3 popping up here in a second, too. Okay, got the Hamiltons going. So that makes us already halfway towards our daily donation goal on Streamlabs, the best place to do donations for the show. Thank you, Gunfox. The first one's Rise of the Union. The second one says, oh, of course they are. And the third one is the left elite turns on. Okay, well, it's hijack the show date. Wait a minute, it's always hijack the show date. Is the thingy body thingy working? I gotta change the thing on that. You know the thing. Oh, you know what? I bet it's not working because, hang on a second. Let me check this. I'm going to change one of them anyway. So, one of my timer little thingy bobbers, cloud bot thingies. And so while I'm doing that, I'm going to say hi, but I'm going to be looking at this screen over here while I'm saying hi. First in the chat over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Congratulations on being here first. Also, Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. Also, Gunfox61 on Rumble, and Bishop's in the house on Rumble. Good to have more people saying hi on Rumble. I love to see it. I know some of you watching multiple screens and shit like that, but I do appreciate the love on Rumble too. And also share those streams because I'd love to build the Rumble audience a little more, I guess. They're just nicer, and they don't tell me that I can't say shit and stuff and things and whatever. So anyway, on YouTube, first in the chat is Gunfox61. What? Wait, I was trying to make this sound. Gunfox61 first in the chat over on YouTube. By the way, here you go. I gotta change this thing. Tip your bartender. I'm just a second here. Okay, there. I fixed that. I'm changing that. All right, and I think the CloudBot thing's going to start working, so you can have the donation links to Streamlabs. So you can hijack the show, drop a Hamilton and an article, or you can just make a normal old super chat type donation on Streamlabs.com, which is not up there because I'm in the wrong screen. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody else. Good morning, Avocados Diabli and Tyre Alexander. The Skirt. Also, good morning, Trippy Liberty. What's up, my brother? Good morning, Jimmy Das Hotel. Also, Mr. Kara Soldier, Mike Savage, Blarg, Zed the Snarky, Lord Stanhope's in the house. Good morning. It's Unacceptable Views, Patio Furniture, John Arnott, welcome back. Also, good morning too. Who else is here? Oh, Anon, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is in the house. I'm changing it from the King and I to the Count. Also, good morning. Amazing Disgrace. Welcome. Special K on acid. Excuse me. Also, who the hell else is here? Renee Mayette's in the house. Good morning. Tuesday morning. Time to bring my MIL to the doctors and annoy her boomer neuroticisms. What? Woohoo. I don't know what that means. He'll explain it. Also, good morning, Nanu. Israel about to take a dirt nap. Uh-oh. What? That's not good. What's up with that? Rick Ashbringer's in the house, and I think that's everybody so far. If I missed you, just say hi again or something. I'll get caught up. All right. Israel about to take a dirt nap. What? What's going on now? Is there some breaking news that I don't know about? Oh, mother-in-law. Got it. Oh, mother-in-law. 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 Remember, who knows that song? I can't even remember. That song was before my time, but I remember hearing it, and I thought it was kind of a cute song, but I never understood it until I had a mother-in-law. But I love my mother-in-law. She's awesome. I do things for her, and she's just the greatest ever. And she's become a great friend to me, and so I'm good with my mother-in-law. Anyway, Renee, you threw me off with the MIL. Okay, so let's get into some news because I got a lot today. So first, there's just a few trending topics that are happening on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Oh, by the way, good morning to my great favorite Canadian, Jaeger Pony. What's up? Okay, so it is Passover. There's we always talk about things happening in the world, right? And so it is Passover, which is the Jewish holiday. If you ever, it's funny because always around this time of year, the movie The Ten Commandments would be on with Charleston Heston, it's all that. Anyway, the global community has come together to celebrate Passover. Well, maybe not the people in Gaza. In 2024, a significant time in the Jewish faith marked by reflection, family gatherings, and the retelling of stories passed down through generations. With well wishes and greetings shared across various platforms, the celebration emphasizes unity, compassion, and gratitude. Organizations and institutions worldwide, including London funders, Cambridge Judge Business School, and Newcastle Libraries, have extended their best wishes, highlighting the importance of togetherness and cherished moments with loved ones during this special time. The global community stands in solidarity, wishing for a joyous and peaceful Passover filled with love, joy, and togetherness, except for the students at Columbia, Yale, and UC Santa Barbara, who are all protesting, I guess, Israel, and unfortunately, probably too dumb to know that some of the things they are saying are anti-Semitic. But, please, I wish a good Passover to all my Jewish friends and anyone who recognizes Passover. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris put out a message for Passover, which is shocking, I guess. Passover teaches us the value of resilience and hope in the face of adversity. Doug and I wish a happy Passover to Jewish families celebrating in America and around the world. Shag Sameach. Sameach? I know I butchered that. I should have my friend Wu come teach me how to say that correctly. So anyway, now it's interesting because the former president, Barack Hussein Obama, he also had a Passover message. And as I read this, there's an article. I'm going to bring this article up. I was going to do this. I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to. Because I wanted to, let's see, where is it? Obama's Passover message. Here it is. Obama's Passover message seemed a little strange. Where's my Passover there? What happened here? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So, and Breitbart decided to mention this. Now, I don't know why they use this picture, because Breitbart's on the right, and they're going to use a bad picture of anyone on the left, just like anyone on the left uses bad pictures of people on the right. But former President Barack Obama used a Passover message on Monday to work Palestinians into the Jewish holiday. How appropriate. Calling for empathy for those suffering in Israel and Gaza, and for solidarity with people of all religions. Now, that's the last part of that, I guess, is not a terrible message, but Gaza still has a little bit of a problem with some hostages and stuff, and then there's a war going on. So I guess anyway, Obama's equivocation obscured the fact that Palestinian terrorists continue to hold 133 Israeli hostages. He failed, in fact, to mention the hostages, instead saying that people should remember everyone who is unable to celebrate the holiday with their loved ones, well, like the hostages in Israel. In Gaza, I mean. He also failed to mention the ongoing wave of anti-Semitism on college campuses and in Democrat-run cities, saying that people of all religions deserve to feel safe and secure wherever they are. Now, I don't know if that's fair. When they say "and in Democrat-run cities," remember, a lot of the Democrat-run cities also have a strong connection with the Jewish people, and support the Jewish people, and so yes, Democrat, and surely I'm sure there's college campuses in Republican-run cities that probably have the same issue as the campuses in the Democrat-run cities. So I don't know about that. Yes. Now, if you count the Democrat-run cities in Dearborn, Michigan, then yes, maybe you might have a problem. But anyway, so Barack Obama's message here. Let's see what it says here on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Here it is. Tonight, this is Barack Obama. Tonight, Jewish families around the world will begin the celebration of Passover with the traditional Seder meal. Michelle and I loved the Seders we held in the White House, and the story of Passover, with its focus on resilience, redemption, and renewal in the face of persecution and uncertainty. Today, it rings forevermore true. This Passover, we let us remember everyone who is unable to celebrate the holidays with their loved ones, and in a time when there's been so much suffering and loss in Israel and Gaza, let's reaffirm our commitment to the Jewish people and peoples of all religions who deserve to feel safe and secure wherever they live and practice their faith. Shag Smash. So, interesting. Not exactly mentioning those loved ones in that are hostages in Gaza. Some of the reactions. So you're still pro-Hamas. Oh, that's good. This is rich coming from the man who made no secret of his hatred for Israel, and even spent over $1 million taxpayer dollars to try to unseat Netanyahu by propping up his socialist opponent. Then he got caught sending billions to the Iranian mullahs on wooden pallets in the middle of the night. Thankfully, a reporter was there who filmed the whole thing. Barack Obama was known as the appeaser-in-chief because he coddled and enriched barbarian terrorists. His fingerprints are all over the disasters in the Middle East and the failed policies here. Why anyone takes advice from Obama is way beyond comprehension. Now, this person, when she said here, where is this person located? Maybe she's in... Is she in Israel? I don't know. Because he said, and all the failed policies here in the U.S. I get it. Okay. So anyway, that was Barack Obama's Passover message. So very interesting, and what's there and what is not there. So make of it what you will. Cory Booker also oh wow, Jewish Democrats. Okay, I don't know. This is weird. I mean, if you're gonna take Jewish Dems, U.S. Jewish Dems wish you Chag Pasach, Samach, happy Passover. And then they put this graphic on here. This is an interesting graphic they're putting on here for Passover. Okay, I don't know what this has to do with Passover, because here's the the Jewish Democratic Council of America Advocacy Seder plate. Preserve our democracy and protect voting rights. Well, yeah, you guys, the Democrats are the ones who are trying to destroy democracy by, making you do what they tell you to do. Support U.S.-Israel relationship. Well, about half the Democrats do that. That's okay. They have their choices. Protect the environment, welcoming the stranger. Oh, you mean like the illegal aliens? Is that what you're talking about? Or do you mean just people who come here through the legal process? Hello, Simon Wolfwood. Welcoming the stranger. Stand with Ukraine. Oh, yeah. Yes, that's certainly on the Seder plate. LGBTQ plus rights with the ever added to flag that they use over there. Access to affordable healthcare, abortion rights. Yes, lots of Jews want abortions to happen. Yeah. Gun safety reforms. Notice how that gun safety reform says no guns. Now, is that gun safety? Or, because to me, gun safety is proper trigger control and don't point at anyone when it's loaded and only aim when you're going to shoot something. That sounds like some gun safety to me. Equity, equality and justice. Equity, run. Fair labor laws and workers' rights, so unions, and combat domestic extremism, racism, and anti-Semitism. Oh, like on college campuses right now. Okay, so there you go. That's from the Jewish Dems. All right, enough about that because we got to keep moving. All right, also trending on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, World Book Day. Yes, besides being Passover, today is also World Book Day, and I really, it's interesting because World Book used to be an encyclopedia. If you're not old enough to know what an encyclopedia is, well, you can look that up. Now, I don't know what this has to do with World Book Day, though. This guy is being flown around on a personal drone. And what does this have to do with World Book Day? I sure as hell don't know, but this might be the greatest video of the day. So here's our World Book Day celebration. Man as a human drone. Or is that a person? Oh, no. It's just a drone with a statue. That's not an actual person. But it could be a person. How about that? That's one of the propellers is working. Oh no, okay. So anyway, I have no idea. I have no idea why that's there on World Book Day. So anyway, books at my house are homeless, shelfless, but then it mirrors me whenever I stray and then stay with one in hand is my nook. Is my home. Okay, that's a sentence that doesn't mean anything. We have lots of books in our house. We were really big on, we had tons of children's books when our kids were young. We just constantly bought children's books. We had probably the entire Dr. Seuss collection. We had, if all the Goodnight Moon and all those books that kids love, and we had all the Harry Potter books when our kids were young. We started reading the Harry Potter books together, and we started out where either myself or Lady Boomer were reading, and then eventually, a couple years in, when my daughter was like 5, she was doing the one doing the reading because she could read really well, and it's always been a very important part of our life. And if you have kids, there's nothing better than you can do for them than to get them some books. So highly recommended. All right. It's Happy World Book Day. Also, though, today is also St. George Day. Now, I'm not from the UK, so I'm not familiar with St. George Day. But here's somebody with a St. George message, someone named Ben Habib. Maybe he'll explain what St. George Day is too. Proud to be English. Why are the political elite ashamed of our flag? Reform UK, which ensure every city in the country is encouraged to fly our great flag on St. George Day. And a St. George Day message from Right Said Fred. Now, if you're not, do you remember Right Said Fred? I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. You know those guys? The Fred guy is a conservative dude. I thought these guys were gay. I did not know that they were straight, but which doesn't matter because you can be conservative and gay too. But Fred has his Twitter account here, and they're wishing everyone a peaceful and happy St. George Day. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So let's hear maybe this message will tell you what St. George's Day about. I don't know. Let's find out.
Hello, folks. This is a St. George's Day message from me.
From me.
Now, I'm going to show you something. This is
Ben Habib.
My union flag from my days as a Brexit Party MEP. In fact, all Brexit Party MEPs had such a flag on their desk, much to the annoyance of the European establishment, who took offence at us identifying ourselves as British, which is remarkable, given that we represented the United Kingdom. But the contempt that people have for those of us who are proud of the union flag is belittled by the contempt held for those of us who identify as English and are proud of St. George's flag.
St. George's flag. No, it's not St. George Clinton.
I went out on the streets of London to see whether, in anticipation of St. George's Day, there'd be flags and celebrations of this great English day on display, but there aren't any. Moreover, I couldn't even find a little St. George's flag to buy, hence the Union flag.
So St. George's flag is the English flag of England, not just Great Britain, but of England.
Clear to Saturday.
St. George was a medieval martyr who became the ideal martial I can't see it because of that little heart. Of martial valor and selflessness.
To the Metropolitan Police, to the establishment more generally, our primary.
Well, because nobody in London is English there, Mr. Khan, or what's his name? Wait, I didn't catch his name. Anyway.
Educational establishments, including Oxford and Cambridge, and a whole host of other institutions in this country. I am very proud of being English. I'm very proud of St. George's flag. I'm very proud of being British and the Union flag. We all should be. And I wish every English man, woman, and child a very happy St. George's Day.
All right, so that's a St. George's message from Ben Habib. So there you go. I guess St. George's Day is a celebration of England, not just and since we're celebrating England there, let's actually celebrate. Happy St. George. Oh, happy St. George Day. Share to piss off a lefty. Apparently, people on the left are not happy about St. George's Day. So anyway, happy St. George's Day to my English friends over across the pond. Enjoy your day. There you go. All right. Also, though, today, speaking of famous English people, is William Shakespeare English? Something like that. Anyway, it's William Shakespeare's birthday. All right. Yeah. What the hell? To clap. On this day in 1564, also died on this day in 1660. He died on his own birthday. To celebrate, here's Richard Burton's goosebump-inducing performance of Hamlet's soliloquy on Broadway in 1964. Happy birthday, Bard, which is a nickname for William Shakespeare. Born on this day 460 years ago, William Shakespeare. One of the great European writers. Hello, Rodline. Great European writers. But also, today is the birthday of one of my favorite. Favorite? I don't know if that's a pretty strong word. And also one of my favorite, how would I say, ambiguous Twitter accounts. That'd be Angela, the bold lib. Apparently it's Angela. Have you ever seen this chick? Now, she has this, she's kind of a parody of herself, but I also think she's serious sometimes. And she says, someone says, today it marks the anniversary of you emerging from the bonus hole of your birthing person. Little did they know how much you would bring to the world and to the causes of ovary bearers and liberals everywhere. This is Angela, the bold lib. She puts out like weird, funny videos. And apparently everyone here is just, she has a large following, and she's actually kind of funny, but I don't know if it's real or not. That's what I don't get. I don't know if she is really a liberal or not. She hangs out with a lot of non-liberal people because, you know, but she calls herself a bold lib. There's her little birthday balloons going up. And so, for example, she puts this one in. I'm 41, 42 on 423, single, fulfilled, bold lib, child-free, trendsetter, wildly successful. Do you find this attractive? Well, if you want billboard space on her forehead, sure, absolutely, because that's a 6 head. That's not even a 5 head. It's a 6 head. And I don't get it. But she put, I got it. Maybe we'll scroll down and see one of the videos. Oh, here's one. Who would you choose if these two ladies were the last on Earth to repopulate the Earth? Which one would you choose? Well, Angela, as much as I can't stand Pearl, I kind of always, well, I had a slight thing for redheads, but that wasn't it. That's not why. See, Pearl is a large, strong woman. She's like 6'1". She was a professional volleyball player or something like that, and she played semi-pro basketball. And if I was going to try to repopulate the Earth, it has nothing to do with whether or not her political views match mine, which Pearl's are very ambiguous too, because I think she's weird. But I need a big, strong woman to make big, strong babies to survive when we get to, you know, whatever. And also, she could probably, you know, do pretty good with an axe chopping down trees, and you're too busy doing your fingernails. So sorry, Angela. Unfortunately, I would be stuck with Pearl. But yeah, she just puts these funny posts. Oh, what the hell? That's not the bold lib. What the hell? Anyway, oh, someone made some fake things real. So anyway, she's funny, and I think she is actually liberal, and I spent way too much time on Angela. All right, let's move on. It's also Prince Louis's birthday. Who's Prince Louis? Oh, the young Prince of Wales. Someone said Princess of Wales. What? Oh, I see. Happy 6th birthday, Prince Louis. Thank you for all the kind wishes today. And that's from the Princess of Wales. She's the child of William and Kate, or Catherine, or whatever. And he's 6 years old already. That's the first child. So there you go. Tyre Alexander. What? Yes, I agree. Okay, good. All right, moving on. And then also, now, there's one more thing trending that I had to click it, and it really, you never know. Who the F is that? Prince, who is, wait, which one? Oh, Prince Louis? Yeah, that's Kate and William's kid. They so let's see. Okay, got King Charles and then Williams next. This would be the heir to the throne. This is William is the heir to the throne after Prince William. So that's why you know, everyone's wishing him a happy birthday. I don't particularly give a shit about the throne, but you know, he's a notable person just because. Signed, Lizzo, Princess of Wales, WHALES. Yes, Soundable Nation. Exactly. All right. Now this next thing trending, I had to click just because I wanted to make sure this one didn't die. You know, and Foghorn Leghorn is trending, and of course, usually when people trend, you get the Denzel Washington meme. The Denzel Washington meme. Whoa, thank God. It thought maybe he died. But I don't know why Foghorn Leghorn is trending. Now, if you're familiar with Looney Tunes, you know who Foghorn Leghorn is. This is the gigantic rooster that is a wise ass and usually does some pretty funny things and beats the dog, but he can never beat the chicken hawk. So Foghorn Leghorn was trending, and I thought he died. Woo, he didn't, thank goodness. But also, a lot of times, whenever Senator, what's his name? Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, whenever he is questioning people, a lot of people try to make fun of him and say he's like listening to Foghorn Leghorn. Because, you know, but I can't do Foghorn Leghorn. But also, the difference between Foghorn Leghorn and Screaming Joe Biden is that Foghorn Leghorn made sense when he spoke. Okay, boy, I say you got more than a screw loose. Anyway, so that's, who knows why Foghorn Leghorn's trending, but he was one of my favorites when I was a kid. Real quick, thank you, Avocado Diablo, sponsoring the show. Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar through Streamlabs, saying, if either of those are the last women on Earth, I would take up necrophilia and dig up Audrey Hepburn's preserved corpse and fuck her.
Your life makes me sad.
Okay, thank you, Efficacious Diablo. And we're now closer to our daily $60 goal in the tip jar on Streamlabs. Thank you very much, AD. Oh my God. I said, what is that? All right. Also trending, Alec Baldwin is trending. Now, if you didn't see Alec Baldwin attack some woman, who wanted him to say free Palestine. Apparently this woman here is the woman. She's running around demanding that people say free Palestine. And Alec Baldwin basically slapped her camera out of her face. So this is the woman. This is her, if you're not sure. Let's see what this says.
All right, guys. So we are here, 34th Street. There's a rally. My tits itch.
Wait.
My titties itch.
Did she just say my titties itch?
My titties itch.
She did. She repeated it. Oh my God.
My titties itch. I don't know what's wrong. You guys should get like a mammogram or something. My titties itch.
I'm concerned that she's going to
really
flop one
right
out.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Anyway, so apparently Alec Baldwin was in minding his own business at a coffee shop or something. And apparently, oh, wait a minute. Ed, we have a daily Krasenstein on the Alec Baldwin situation. So wait, let's watch the video first, and then we'll watch, we'll do a daily Krasenstein. Here's what happened with Alec Baldwin.
Alec, can you please say free Palestine one time? Why did you kill that lady? You killed that lady and got no jail time? No jail time?
I mean, she's up in his face with a well, not in his face, but right at him with a camera.
Alec? No jail time, Alec. You're putting innocent people in jail, Alec Baldwin. I'm so sorry. Free Palestine, Alec, just one time, and I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone, I swear.
Now, why?
Just say free Palestine one time. One time. One time.
Call the police.
One time, Alec. You know he's a criminal. You know he's a fucking criminal. Come on, Alec, just say free Palestine one time. One time, just one time, please.
Now, real quick. Oh yeah. Oh, AD, you beat me to it. I'm torn on this lady. The Palestine thing is annoying, but bugging him about murder is funny. Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? What's up with the crazy state reps in your neck of the woods getting busted for burglary? Oh, I haven't seen that shit. You got a link, Jimmy D? If you got a link, let me know. All right. So even if it's Alec Baldwin, who I cannot stand as a human being, I'm just like, look, you don't know him. If that was just some random person getting coffee, you wouldn't be yelling at them. Leave the celebrities alone. But for her efforts,
I'll leave you alone.
He got
free Palestine.
Her camera
fuck
slapped
Israel,
her.
fuck Zionism. Please say it. One time.
Could you do me one quick favor?
So he assaulted her. Now, this is probably not a good look for Alec Baldwin because he has enough problems as it is. But as many people are saying, as AD said, as I'm saying, can't stand Alec Baldwin, but the girl harassing him is even more annoying. Exactly, Mr. Cat Turd. Okay? So that's why Alec Baldwin is trending. Also, now we're going to, wait a minute, hang on. Why is this up here so soon? Hold on. Let's pull him off of here. Just a second. Okay, real quick. Let me move this because that's not supposed to be there yet. This is supposed to be over here. Okay. All right. Also trending is other annoying liberals that that many of us do not like. Mark Hamill, the aka Luke Skywalker, is trending. And of course, it's either because he said something terrible about Trump or he said something great about Joe Biden. And I'm just going to give you the line. I'm going to give you the line. Now, this isn't actually Mark Hamill. That's that little short dude from Game of Thrones. But Mark Hamill says Joe Biden, apparently Donald Trump, or excuse me, Joe Biden said something about Donald Trump is the worst president we ever had. Mark Hamill replied, Joe Biden is the best president we've ever had. Yeah, he said that. He definitely said that. Joe Biden is the best president we've ever had. Oh, well, that's because Mark Hamill will be starring in the new hit movie called Ambrose Finnegan, aka Uncle Bosie and the Cannibals. And by the way, we did establish that story. It was false about the cannibals. Joe Biden. So anyway, that's why Mark Hamill's trending. Also, let's see, what is this? What is this? Oh, here we go. Oh, here's the trending topic summary. Mark Hamill, known for his role as Luke Skywalker, recently expressed his opinion on social media that Joe Biden is the best president of the United States, or the United States has ever had. This statement has ignited a lively discussion on social media, with some users agreeing and others vehemently disagreeing. This discourse has included humorous and sarcastic comments, as well as criticism of Hamill's acting and political views. Despite mixed reactions, Hamill's statement has generated significant engagement and discussion online, showcasing the diverse opinions surrounding the current U.S. presidency. Now, I got to tell you, the idea that Mark Hamill says that Joe Biden is the best president, I'm still thinking about that other chick, best president we've ever had. I'm pretty confident that most historians would disagree. I'm just saying if I wanted to put a bet on a book in Las Vegas, that would be a safe bet. The odds probably wouldn't be very good because they're probably close to 1-1. But the idea that Joe Biden is the best president we ever had is comical. And by the way, it's also racist because we all know that Barack Obama is the best president we ever had. Sorry, I couldn't stop laughing. Good for that. Moving on. Let's see. What else is trending? Let's see. By the way, today is also the anniversary. Now, this one kind of annoys me because the X summaries are done by the XAI known as Grok. Okay. And so Grok did a summary here of the anniversary of something very auspicious. The Trump disinfectant disaster 4 years later. Now, this is a very inaccurate post, but I'm going to read it anyway because basically X takes what people are saying about certain topics and then summarizes them. But this one is really, really bad. This one needs a community note. Before I read it, though, thank you, Avocados Diablo, for sponsoring the show, dropping another small bullet in the tip jar. We are that one step closer to the $60 goal for the day. Avocados Diablo says, Joe Biden isn't even the best president we've had in the last 6 months. Yes. Oh, wait, no, That's well, anyway.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Okay, thank you, Advocatus Diablo. Special. That's special. So anyway, here's the summary based on tweets about the disinfectant debacle. Okay, this is a summary based on tweets. So it's not necessarily going to be true, but it is going to be based on tweets. 4 years ago, on April 23rd, 2020, during a White House press briefing, former President Donald Trump suggested injecting disinfectant and light inside the body as a possible cure for COVID-19. This unconventional proposal sparked immediate backlash from medical professionals and the public, who warned of the potential dangers and fatalities that could result from following such advice. Despite the criticism, Trump supporters have continued to back him, with some advocating for his return to the Oval Office. The incident remains a significant moment in the history of Trump presidency, serving as a reminder of the importance of responsible leadership during a public health crisis. Now, that is so false. That is so false. No, he did not suggest injecting disinfectant and light inside the body. What he said was there was a company experimenting with using ultraviolet light to kill this stupid 19 virus. And there actually was a company looking at ways to using these microfiber or whatever in things, needles, whatever, and actually using ultraviolet light inside the lungs. It was just something that they were talking about, and using it. And when he said disinfect, that would be as a form of a disinfectant. But he did not say that people should do it. Now, when he was talking about this, one of the reporters in the White House press briefing room asked this question, and I think this is verbatim. It's close, okay? Are you suggesting that people should inject bleach? To which he answered, no. No, he said they were testing some technology and trying to, sort of blood disinfectants, but it led to the firestorm where someone at Lysol, some asshole at Lysol said, do not drink our product, do not inject this product, blah, 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 all these things, right? But Donald Trump never suggested that people go out and do it. He said that they were doing some research on that. And when you think about blood disinfectants, think of things like chemotherapy, things like that. So all these lefty dumbass accounts are saying 4 years ago today, Donald Trump took the White House briefing room and encouraged his top health officials to study the injection of bleach into the human body to fight COVID. That is a bald-faced lie. Still, all these people are saying that this happened. So supposing we hit the body with tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just a very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing it brought the light inside the body, which you can either do through the skin or some other way. That was an actual technology that was being researched at the time. Using flash ultraviolet light and using injection like a tube that could go into your lungs. There was a company doing that, and that's where it came from. And again, people still are saying Trump suggested we attack COVID-19 by injecting disinfectant in people's bodies or by sticking a very powerful light inside the body. It was reckless commentary by a person unqualified to be president. All these are lies. It's like there was an actual company testing this type of technology. So it's kind of funny. It's trending because lots of people are still talking about the bleach line, which was a complete fabrication of what actually happened. So, also, Australia is trending. Australia is trending because Australia is very mad at, well, some lawmakers in Australia are very, very upset with Elon Musk. Okay. No love for Barkeeper Friend. I love Barkeeper Friend. It's basically the best scouring powder out there. No, I am not suggesting people inject bleach. Just you, 2020. Yes. Anyway, all right, here's why Australia is trending. So remember it was a few days ago, maybe it was on late last week, where the bishop of some church was attacked by a Palestinian protester and was stabbed several times. Well, apparently, the video was, some people were having put the video on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, and many people were commenting on that video. And apparently, the Australian government, and perhaps New Zealand also, are demanding that X take those videos down, citing some sort of hate speech or whatever, or hate this and that. And so here's an example of an Australian senator speaking on this subject. Listen to this nonsense. Okay, here we go.
The alleged attack, and Elon Musk really showing contempt for the government and its approach on this issue. What's your take on the...
Oh, no. Someone's showing contempt for a government? Oh, my God. Oh, that's terrible.
Tech billionaire.
So when it comes to the tech billionaire, like I've already said, I think he's a social media knob with no social conscience. He has absolutely no social conscience. Someone like that should be in jail and the key be thrown away.
He should be in jail and the key thrown away.
That bloke should not have a right to be out there on his own ideology platform. And
he has no right to be up there on his own ideology platform.
Creating hatred, showing all this stuff out there to our kids and doing all the rest. I'm very interested to watch what the US is going to do with TikTok and how far that they can do. We're trying to get rid of that platform as well. So I think we're all watching.
I don't think they should get rid of TikTok. As much as I hate TikTok, I don't think they should be getting rid of it. I think it's a bullshit suggestion. But I'm just me.
Watching on the United States at the moment to see what they're doing. But seriously, if we can move, and if that means in the next sitting that we can shut him down from doing this, because this is
happy to kick them out? You kick the platform out?
I don't give a stuff about the platform. I'm happy to go off the platform today, to be honest with you. I already have a list of all you journalists. I don't even know why we're on the platform. But I say this to everybody else. I'll be switching off X today. I'll be doing that before I get to the airport this afternoon.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass, Jackie.
That the other 227 members of Parliament do the same thing and show them that you mean business. Because when you want to lead by example, it has to happen from here. It has to happen from here. So start switching off X. Start throwing it back at him. But we've got to start from...
So he was critical of the Australian government because of their reaction to what happened when that person was stabbed, when that bishop was stabbed. And so they're some of the Australians are very angry. Now, I'm not showing that video, below is the video. The Australian government wants us not to be able to view and is trying to censor globally. This is the moment when a jihadi is stabbing a Christian bishop in Australia. So here is, and this is the letter from the e-safety commissioner. Thank you, Billboard Chris. The e-safety office in Australia is currently refusing to release documents related. Oh, this is a whole different case. Relating my documents, some third parties. Oh, that's a different one. I'm sorry. But Australian PMs misrepresents the law in latest attack on Elon. Anthony Albanese characterizes X challenge of Australia's attempt to enforce a global ban on content as Elon thinking he's above the law. Now, this is amazing. So Australia wants them to ban content in other countries too. So here's another Australian. This is the Australian Prime Minister saying the same thing.
I want to ask you about Elon Musk. He's mocked you this morning for choosing censorship and propaganda over free speech and truth. What's your response to that?
Well, this is a bloke who's chosen ego and showing violence over common sense. I think that Australians will shake their head when they think that this billionaire is prepared to go to court fighting for the right to sow division and to show violent videos which are very distressing. He is in social media, but he has a social responsibility in order to have that social license. And what is it?
None of my Australian friends are here right now, but I'm just curious: is Australia Canada Light or Canada Big? I mean, what? What's
occurred here is that the E-Safety Commissioner has made
E-Safety Commissioner. So you have an E-Safety Commissioner in Australia. Whew, they don't believe in free speech in Australia.
Sensible suggestions. Other social media companies have complied without complaint.
Comply. Do not complain.
But this bloke thinks he's above the Australian law.
What's the law there you're talking about?
Common decency.
What's the law you're talking about?
And I tell you what, I say to Elon Musk that he is so out of touch with what the Australian public want. This has been a distressing time, and I find this bloke on the other side of the world, from his billionaires' establishments.
I'm curious. Does Australia block content of other types in their country? For example, do they have movies like John Wick? Do they allow John Wick movies to come into the country? Reacher, maybe? Do they allow Jackie Chan films? Because those films are pretty violent, you know? Do they allow Kill Bill? You know, the Tarantino film Kill Bill. Do they allow that? Because that's nasty, man. It looks so real and shit. Did they allow the movie Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan? You know, the scene in Private Ryan when they're storming Normandy and the guy just is carrying his own arm. Do they allow those kinds of things? I'm just curious.
Trying to lecture Australians about free speech.
Yeah.
Well, I won't cop it, and Australians won't either.
So what?
Really? I bet there's a lot of Australians who agree with him. I'll bet you. I'll bet you.
Happens if the vision in question here isn't taken down?
And again, they're demanding that it be taken down worldwide, not just in Australia. Like what?
Well, of course, there is a court order has been put in place.
Yeah, well,
it's a sensible proposition. No one is above the law.
What's the law?
Not
You can't
Elon Musk.
Name the law you're
not
talking
any
about.
Australian.
Okay, you get the idea. I'm not going to listen to him babble on. But anyway, here's Mario Nafal. He says he misrepresents the law in the latest attack on Elon Musk. Anthony Albanese characterized X's challenge of Australia's attempt to enforce a global ban on content as Elon thinking he is above the law. And he says what occurred here is that the E-Safety Commissioner has made a very sensible suggestions. Other social media companies have complied without complaint, but this bloke thinks he's above the Australian law, that he's above common decency. X has complied with the Australia E-Safety Commissioner's request to take down content in Australia. However, they also want the content banned in other countries and are threatening to fine X unless they comply. You have no say what is shown in other countries. This would be an Australian law, according to Albanese, takes precedence over the sovereignty and laws of every other country in the world, which is precisely why X is challenging this aspect of the Australian E-Safety Commissioner's request. So, that's the point. Apparently, he did take it down in Australia, but just not in the rest of the world. It's blocked in Australia. Fuck you. You can't determine what Americans see or what Sudanese can see or what Filipinos can see or what Indonesians can see or English can see or Russians can see. Fuck you and your fucking E-commissioner. there you go. Good morning, Shrapnel and Mystic Forest. What's up? Thank you, Zed the Snarky, for sponsoring the show. Drop a big bullet in the tip jar. We're getting closer to that $60, and thank you very much. Zed the Snarky says, a politician from any country accusing someone of being out of touch is fucking laughable. Yeah. Spot on. All right, let's go. Let's see. Go on, move on to the next one. Oh, wait, I should probably make that a separate link so you can, what the hell happened there? Oh, there we go. We'll leave that link for you. So if you want to watch those on your own, you may. All right. Finally, and Aussies are also trending because of that. And then now, and I mentioned earlier at Cal Poly, or not, yeah, I said, but I didn't say Cal Poly, but anyway, pro-Palestinian protesters have occupied Siemens Hall at California's Polytechnic State University in Arcata, California, leading to a standoff with law enforcement. The university has closed its campus through April 24th due to the volatile situation, advising people to avoid the area. Protesters have barricaded the entrance with items from inside the building, and law enforcement has arrived in riot gear attempting to break through. The demonstration is in solidarity with Palestine, with chants of "End the occupation now" and "Free Palestine" heard from the crowd. Some posts report excessive use of force and arrest, with calls for de-escalation and the immediate release of those arrested. Well, look, you're so anyway, police are in riot gear as pro-Palestinian protesters have barricaded, taken over a building at State Polytechnic University. So, and another school, they're protesting. I gotta tell you, man, anyone getting shades of 1968? I mean, it's just like history repeating itself. This time it's over the Palestinians. And again, it's war protesting, right? The Democratic National Convention is going to be in Chicago, where a lot of black people are upset with the Democrats too over immigration. They're going to have the immigration protesters. You're going to have the Palestinian protesters. This is going to be, I don't want to use Trump's words, but it's going to be wild at the Democratic National Convention. I'm just saying, forming a mob, taking places over, and generally being an ass is not protesting. Exactly, AD. Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy that all of a sudden at all these schools it's happening. Now, the main topic of the day, let's get into that, because this is all I'm going to talk about, is mostly Trump, the lawfare aspect of these Trump things going on. Now, yesterday, a bunch of unredacted evidence has been showing up regarding the Mar-a-Largo raid. Okay, the case in Florida where the classified documents were in Mar-a-Largo, being guarded by some being guarded by Secret Service agents, some put in a skiff they built in Mar-a-Lago, and they went and raided it because the National Archives wanted some things back and Trump wasn't ready to give them back, blah, 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 blah. The president of the United States took documents to his home, and unlike the cases with, Joe Biden, when he had documents for when he was a senator and when he was vice president, or cases like Mike Pence, who was the vice president, the president of the United States has a different ability that those don't have, in that they can declassify a lot of documents. And there's big, obviously, hubbub. Good morning, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
The big hubbub is that they're saying that he just was not allowed to have these documents. They're having a federal case over it. Jack Smith is trying to charge him with, unlawful possession of classified documents. Well, in this case, the judge is very skeptical of seems to be very skeptical of the government's position, which we should always be skeptical of the judge's, of the government's position, right? You are innocent until proven guilty. But Jack Smith wants the case where Donald Trump is guilty before being, have to be declared innocent. And Judge Cannon is not going along with some of the requests that this particular prosecutor is trying to get done. So here's the little summary from X. Judge Cannon, who's the judge in the case, recently unsealed an FBI probe into the handling of classified documents by former President Donald Trump, revealing direct ties between the Biden White House and the Mar-a-Largo raid. Now, wait a minute. I thought that the White House had nothing to do with the raid of Mar-a-Largo. I thought the Justice Department had nothing to do with this raid. This is the White House had nothing to do with it. Joe Biden's just an innocent bystander. Nobody in the White House has ever talked to anybody prosecuting Trump, except in every case so far. We've got evidence of them talking to the prosecutors in every single one of these cases, which is hilarious. But this one, the Biden administration was involved in developing a criminal case against Trump for mishandling classified documents, with Trump being warned to return records nearly a year before the Mar-a-Lago search. The unsealing of the FBI probe sheds light on the Biden White House's collaboration with the National Archive to build the case. This development has sparked reactions across social media, with many expressing shock and concerns over the revelations. Now, the person who's been the most prolific on this has been Julie Kelly, but there's a kind of a wide range of opinions on this. Some very critical of Judge Cannon because she's actually basically making rulings that seem to favor Trump or seem to favor the person who's supposed to be innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And there are those who just want this to be a complete railroading of Trump. They think he has no constitutional rights. He has no right to do anything. He should already be in jail during these trials, and that he's a shitbag, dirtbag, whatever. Now, Simon Ateba, the correspondent, where's he from? He's from Today's News Africa, and he is the Washington White House correspondent, who writes this. This has just been unsealed. It shows how the Mar-a-Lago Trump raid was conducted and who conducted it. It's so interesting that agents came all the way from Washington, D.C. and the DOJ. Now, this is way too much to read, I think. This is a picture. Oh, this is just a picture. But I should go to, I want to find Julie Kelly. What happened to it? But there are some people, though, who are very pissed at Judge Cannon. What is she doing? MSNBC analyst trashes Judge Cannon's latest Trump maneuver. So we're gonna get to that one in a second. We'll do a couple of these. Well, wait. First, let me do Gun Fox's article. Well, now I'll do one of these first. Here's the summary. So here's the summary in, why is this not scrolling? Hang on a second. Let's try this again. There we go. New unredacted docs reveal Biden, Garland, Jack Smith collusion in Trump documents case. Unredacted documents published Monday have begun to reveal the extent of the Biden's government's collusion with the National Archives and Records Administration to concoct a case against President Donald Trump. The records also appear to confirm that President Trump was telling the truth when he said his team was still negotiating chain of custody with the National Archives when they suddenly made a criminal complaint. Reporter Julie Kelly revealed, thanks to order by Judge Cannon, key evidence related to classified docs case is now unredacted. On the left, what DOJ and Jack Smith wanted to conceal. On the right, what we know now, we know why. More proof of collaboration with the Biden White House and NARA to concoct a case. So, here's the thread. We'll open the thread here. I'm not going to go through the whole thread, but it shows you what was redacted on each of these cases and what is the unredacted version. Okay, so we'll give you just some samples. I won't go through the document itself, but here, let's read her summary. Outrageous lies by Joe Biden, Attorney General Merrick Garland, and DOJ Jack Smith about independence from investigation into Trump. The Biden White House and DOJ was intimately involved in developing a criminal case against Trump for records mismanagement. It appears the first go-around related to alleged destruction of government papers. Contrary to public and legal assertions, NARA was working with the White House to craft a criminal referral by September 2021, 5 months before the official referral by NARA to the DOJ in February 2022. And apparently he also learned why the insiders like Andrew Weissman and Barb McQuaid are desperate to get rid of Judge Cannon. Without her courage on this matter, incriminating evidence of Biden's White House and DOJ running the investigation show behind the scenes would be buried maybe forever. DOJ told NARA what to do to cover their tracks, and it's all in these documents. Also, the Biden Department of Energy was involved in the cover-up. The Department of Energy discovered after Smith handed down his indictment that Trump had an active security clearance, so they retroactively terminated it. Now there was where's the comparison page? This is not it. Well, anyway, that gives you the that basically gives you the smash of what's going on. You can read through that thread yourself. But the main point is the Biden White House, who said they had nothing to do with this case, and the Department of Justice, which said they had nothing to do with NARA bringing this criminal referral, was guiding NARA, the National Archives, to bring this case. So, in other words, yeah. Now, in another case, regarding Donald Trump, the opening statement by Alvin Bragg in the apparent Stormy Daniels case. Here's a summary of what happened in the oral arguments. The Manhattan-based hush money prosecution of former President Donald Trump got off to an abbreviated start with the court adjourning Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. A juror had previously notified the judge they would have to leave for a dentist appointment early. The National Pulse will provide a rundown of highlights and essential moments after the court adjourns each day of the trial. Now, that's very interesting. Let me just tell you why that's interesting. The judge stopped the case because one of the jurors had a dentist appointment. This is the same judge that says Donald Trump must be in court every single day during this trial and would have to miss his son's graduation from high school to be in this case. Will not postpone one day of this case so Donald Trump can attend his son's high school graduation. But he adjourned early today, or she, is this judge? I can't remember the judge's name of this one. Early today for a dentist appointment for one of the jurors. See, Trump is guilty until proven innocent, or at least acquitted, according to this judge. So it's pretty amazing. Now, thank you, Rod Line, dropping a deuce in the super chats. It says Mark Hamill spelled corrupt wrong. It's not best. Yes, he's the most corrupt president in history, not the best president in history. Thank you. Thank you, Rod Line. So, Todd Blanche, one of the former president's defense attorneys, kicked off the opening arguments. The defense attorney stressed to the jury that President Trump is innocent. President Trump did not commit any crimes. The defense indicated they will focus heavily on the weakness of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's case, which relies on an underlying federal crime for which Trump has not been charged. Addressing the prosecution's insistence that the case is about Trump's attempt at election interference, Blanche told the jury, there's something wrong with trying to influence the election. It's called democracy, or there's nothing wrong with trying to influence election. Ha! No! It's called democracy. The attorney, pivoting to the previous playing up of the non-disclosure agreements with Stormy Daniels, argued there's nothing wrong with a non-disclosure agreement. Prosecutors objected when Blanche likened Stormy Daniels' attention-seeking behavior as akin to extortion. Judge Juan Merchan sustained the prosecution's objection. Of course, this judge is absolutely anti-Trump. The defense attorneys also worked to ensure the jurors knew the truth about the prosecution's star witness, Michael Cohen, calling the disgraced former attorney a convicted felon, an admitted liar, and a convicted perjurer. Prosecutor Matthew Colangelo a former U.S. federal attorney who resigned his lucrative post to pursue the Trump prosecution. Again, this is the guy who left the Justice Department specifically to take this case. Gee, I wonder why someone from the Justice Department would do something like that. Why would someone from the Justice Department leave the Justice Department to take this case? must be very prestigious. He opted for painting a narrative of Donald Trump and Michael Cohen scheming with the former National Enquirer CEO David Pecker. Coangelo, mainly ignoring the facts of the case, told the jurors the three men struck an agreement during the 2015 meeting at Trump Tower in which they conspired to influence the 2016 presidential election in three different ways. He proceeded to contend that the National Enquirer engaged in 3 catch-and-kill actions to head off stories that could damage the 2016 Trump presidential campaign. Oh, kind of like all the media did for Joe Biden in 2020, huh? Just like that. Are they going to? Oh, this would be interesting. So are they going to prosecute Joe Biden for everyone trying to kill that laptop story in 2020? Is that going to be considered a campaign finance, violation? The prosecution attempted to mitigate the reputational damage surrounding their star witness, Colangelo, told juries the reason why Trump's legal team asked the court to reject Michael Cohen's testimony was precisely because it's so damning. The first witness was David Pecker, the former CEO of the National Enquirer. His testimony lasted only about 20 minutes and comprised mostly biographical information before the court adjourned for the day. Pecker testimony will continue tomorrow. So, Jonathan Turley, the Democrat who always seems to side with Republicans. Turley is like the Tim Pool of legal experts. So he's a Democrat, lefty, but always seems to maybe he's just open-minded, but he always seems to support things that Republicans are doing, even though he's a Democrat and still votes Democrat and votes for Joe Biden. He's, like I said, he's a Tim Pool of attorneys. George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley said he is in utter disbelief over the opening statements of the trial brought forth by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Former President Donald Trump arrived in the courthouse Monday to hear the opening statements for the prosecution and defense teams over the 34-count indictment accusing him of falsifying business records to cover up an alleged hush money payment to former porn actress Stormy Daniels. Isn't that a kind of an oxymoron? Anyway, porn actress. Is that, actress, performer? I don't know. Hello, Andrew Thorsten. It is alleged that Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid $130,000 to Daniels to keep an alleged extramarital affair between her and Donald Trump undisclosed ahead of the 2016 presidential election. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. What is clear in this case, Trump is right, Turley said. I mean, this is an embarrassment. I mean, the fact that we are actually talking about this case being presented in a New York courtroom leaves me in utter disbelief. I mean, the arguments today, how long is this statement? Please tell me this is just a couple seconds. Can we
Washington University law professor.
Yeah, no, we're not playing 4 minutes of Jonathan Turley. That this case is in a New York courtroom leaves me in utter disbelief. I mean, the arguments today did, in fact, capture all the problems here. You had this misdemeanor under state law that had run out. This is going back to the 2016 election, and they zapped it back to life by alleging that there was a campaign finance under federal laws that doesn't exist. The Department of Justice doesn't view it this way. Turley compared the allegations against Trump to former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, whose campaign funded the Steele dossier to investigate the now discredited claims that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election. But also, keep in mind, this is what Hillary Clinton's people did. Remember when they funded the Steele dossier, which they denied to reporters? They put it as a legal expense, and then they fought the eventual fine that they received from the federal government, saying, well, it was a legal expense. But now you've got some of the same Democrats supporting the same bizarre theory. Fox News' John Roberts pointed out that the prosecution is being led in part by Michael Colangelo, who served as the U.S. Associate Attorney General under President Joe Biden's administration, then left his position to become a state prosecutor for Bragg's office. Turley said Colangelo's role supports Trump's accusation that the case is coordinated. The fact that most people in most courts would be like, whoa, let's not start with the former Biden Justice Department attorney to make this argument. But in New York, it doesn't matter because not much else matters except the name of the defendant on the caption, Donald Trump. Colangelo accused Trump during his opening statement of formulating a long-running conspiracy to interfere in the 2016 election. According to the Associated Press, the defendant, Donald Trump, orchestrated a criminal scheme to corrupt the 2016 presidential election. Then he covered up that criminal conspiracy by lying to his in his New York business records over and over and over again, Colangelo reportedly said. Todd Blanchett, defense attorney representing Trump, affirmed the former president's innocence, the outlet reported. President Trump is innocent. President Trump did not commit any crimes. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office should never have brought this case. And so there you go. And then they're going to paint Cohen and so on and so forth as liars. Let's do the three articles from Gunfox, and then if I have time, I'll do one more. Basically, all the articles today in the links are basically based on the lawfare stuff. But let's move to the articles given to us by Gunfox 61, the awesome administrator of the P-Dog Night Discord server and prolific Hamilton dropper. So the first one he sent me, auto workers just scored a huge victory and Republicans are furious. Why Republican governors feel so threatened by the UAW's historic win in Tennessee. Well, let's see what this is about. Because remember, was it the Teams? No, the Teamsters. Oh no, the United Auto Workers still haven't voted and haven't endorsed Joe Biden yet. Isn't that weird? That's weird, isn't it? Okay, Volkswagen employees in Chattanooga, Tennessee, voted to join the United Auto Workers on Friday. The vote was a shocking and historic win that bound to further strengthen a rejuvenated organized labor movement. At the same time, it's sending political shockwaves throughout the South and putting Republicans on their back foot. Okay, why? Friday's vote suggests that workers in southern red states could be growing more interested in unionizing their workplaces, despite GOP efforts to paint unions as part of a socialist agenda pushed by Joe Biden. Okay. The UAW is on a hot streak. Last year, UAW auto workers at General Motors, Ford Motors, and Chrysler parent Stellantis used strikes to secure contracts with big pay raises and better work conditions. Yeah, and they're going to have fewer jobs because Biden is going for all electric. But I digress. According to Reuters, the newly formed union in Volkswagen marks the first auto plant in the South to unionize via election since the 1940s and the first foreign-owned auto plant in the South to do so. The South is a rough place for unions. The unionization rate is around 8 percentage points lower there than outside region. The history of Southern political economy is to a great extent a history of the unbreakable addiction of Southern political and economic elites to no-wage and low-wage labor. Oh my God, that is such a subtle way to invoke slavery. which has been illegal since 1865. Holy fuck. That's New York Times columnist Jamel Bowie. Oh, he's a baiter. And I don't mean a masturbator. He recently explained in a piece contextualizing the stakes of the Chattanooga vote. And the total dominance of Republicans in the South means that the party's allegiance to representing big business, whose interests are at odds with the interests of the workers they exploit. Oh my God. What do you mean exploit? Hello, Nomad. What's up? Nice to see you.
Stop. Hammer time.
Republicans in the South means that the party's allegiance to representing big business, whose interests are at odds with the interests of the workers they exploit. Well, no, they're not at odds with the workers they employ, because in order to have workers to be employed by you, you have to have some kind of a win-win. But apparently, this is so stupid. Holy shit. Go largely unchallenged read it. Part of the way that manifests today is through the so-called right-to-work laws, which make it harder for workers to form and sustain unions, in part by allowing non-union workers to access union benefits without paying dues. This policy is the law of the land across the entire South, including Tennessee. Yeah. So, yeah, you shouldn't have to join a union to work somewhere, should you? Should you be able to work somewhere and not be part of the union? Now, I don't think necessarily the union has to pay union benefits to people who don't join the union, but the pay should be the same because you're paying people. But the union benefits, okay, fine. If someone wanted to work at UPS and didn't want to take benefits and not be a part of the union, I don't give a fuck. I take the benefits as part of the union because it pays for all my fucking health care. What? Some young guy who's 22 may not give a fuck. So why should he be forced to be a part of the union? Anyway, but we're a state that does not have a right to work law. The policy, okay. The UAW lost unionization votes at the same plant in Chattanooga in 2014 and 2019, but this time it finally prevailed. That might be due in part to the wins the UAW secured for workers from major automakers in Michigan last year. See, real gains among workers in the same sector elsewhere can be inspirational and act as a counterweight to negative messaging from an employer about unionizing. Alarmed by the unionization drive, Republicans tried to discourage the Chattanooga voters from supporting it. The governors of Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas released a fear-mongering statement 3 days before the Chattanooga vote about unions representing special interests that threaten our jobs and the values we live by. Among other things, the governors argued that the unions are interlopers that intrude on the direct relationship between employers and employees, and that unions act as death knells for their workplaces. They also tried to stigmatize UAW by describing the organization as a socialist enterprise and a partisan tool of Joe Biden. Well, it has been, but the break and file union workers don't give a fuck about Joe Biden. While the wage gains won by a union could theoretically spur some layoffs in some cases, theoretically, by raising the cost of labor for a company, they claim that unionization causes the financial collapse of most companies is utter nonsense. There are countless unionized private sector jobs around the world in profitable companies, and contrary to the Republican talking point, unions don't intrude on the employer-employee relationship, but allow employees to meaningfully express themselves through their collective power, which results in them getting higher wages and better working conditions than they would without a union. Yeah, maybe not. Fortunately, President Joe Biden has not also expressed solidarity with the Chattanooga workers, but he also hit the Republican governors for peddling falsehoods about unions. Let me be clear. The Republican governors have tried to undermine this vote. There's nothing to fear from American workers using their voice and their legal right to form a union if they so choose, he said in a statement after the vote. In fact, the growing strength of unions over the last year has gone hand in hand with record small business and job growth alongside the longest stretch of low unemployment in 50 years. No, Joe, no, nothing to do with record small business and job growth. The fucking record small businesses aren't unionized. The job growth, is fake at best. Job returns, sure. But the job growth, you mean more people working 2 jobs? No, sorry. Lies. Why the fuck you lying? Republicans should be scared. A Mercedes plant in Alabama will hold a UAW election in May, and most workers have signed cards signaling their support for unionizing. Success could continue to beget success, with auto workers across the South forming unions and breaking the total control of capital in their workplaces. Worse still, from the perspective of the GOP, the unionization contagion could spread to other sectors. None of this will be pleasing to a party that views corporate domination of workers as an essential condition of American economic life. The Republican governor's panic statement is a reminder of the faux population of the GOP, that they so strongly object to the idea of workers being able to express their need for dignity in the workplace. Oh, is that what it does? Oh, you haven't worked in a union shop. There's no dignity. Get the fuck out of here. Tells you everything you need to know about blah, 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 blah. So that's the editorial from them. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Gun Fox. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. There's a study on trans women's athletic disadvantages ought to change the debate. Few anti-LGBTQ policies have taken off as quickly as those banning trans women and girls from women and girls sports. What study? A groundbreaking study. Here's the study. Maybe. Well, let's read this first. A groundbreaking study that was sponsored by the International Olympic Committee and released late last week sought to compare a range of athletic abilities between trans athletes and their cisgender counterparts. The finding that trans women athletes are at a relative disadvantage in many key physical areas relating to athletic ability and perform worse on cardiovascular tests than their cisgender counterparts could be the first step in fighting back against the conventional wisdom conservatives have spread that trans women's participation is inherently unfair. I am curious about this study. Is this thing popping up? It is not. I'm curious. I'm going to guess that it's a bullshit study. Over the past several years, few anti-LGBTQ policies have taken off as quickly within mainstream politics as those banning trans women and girls from women and girls sports. Prompted by the success of trans college swimmer Leah Thomas, who won a national championship during her senior year. He won... Oh. Nope, no advantage being 6'4". And in a swimming competition, and he had no advantages at all. He's just a year before he swam as a male. No. Dozens of conservative states and sports administrators have rushed headlong into outright bans on trans women's rights to participate equally in sports. Well, no, right? What do you mean right? Why do you have a right to participate equally in sports with women? Why? That's a right? I didn't know that. The political argument seems simple, natural even. We all know men are superior athletes to women, conservatives argue. On average capacity for athletics? Absolutely. Now, no, not all men are superior to all women. But if you go through record books religiously of capacity between men and women, men far outpace women in nearly every aspect of athletics. There's millions of points of data to prove it. The top women in just about every athletic endeavor, especially individual events, wouldn't break the top 10 of high school boys. Period. Okay? So there you go. But this is how they wanted to write this. We all know that men are superior athletes to women. Conservatives argued so that allowing trans women to compete with women would be inherently unfair because it felt like common sense that to a lot of people it made for a compelling political argument. But The study the IOC commissioned at the University of Brighton conducted found that while trans women are stronger in some respects, like grip strength, cis women have stronger lower bodies. The study also found that trans women have similar bone density as their cis women counterparts, which rebuts a frequent refrain from conservatives who've argued otherwise to justify banning trans girls from women and women from sports. All the participants in the study participated in competitive sports or took part in physical training at least 3 times a week. The 35 trans athletes had to have completed at least 1 consecutive year of hormone replacement therapy. Oh, so they a full 35 trans athletes they have in this study. It's just one study, so we should avoid drawing grand conclusions. Wait a minute. Your grand conclusion is it ought to change the debate. Isn't that a grand conclusion? That's a grand conclusion. But at the very least, the study shows that the bodies of trans women who've been on at least 1 year of hormone replacement therapy are very, very different from cis men's bodies. Very different, or slight atrophy of ability. No, I bet on average it's still higher than cis women. Cis women, I hate that fucking term. In their conclusion, researchers cautioned against hurtling into blanket bans on trans women participation in women's sports and declared that using data comparing cis men and cis women's bodies to justify these bans is wrong. It has become commonplace for anti-trans campaigners to make arguments against trans participation in sports by citing the difference between cis men and cis women's bodies. In other words, pretending that trans women's bodies are identical to those of cis men. No, they do lose some. They do atrophy some ability due to hormone replacement. But is it enough to compare to an average woman? There are also studies that say the opposite of what this study is saying. We need more study on this issue. I'll agree with that. But at the very least, this should be a warning to legislators and sports administrators who want to make decisions based on data, not to rush to appease transphobic people who've been fomenting panic over the issue. Oh, really? So, and what if this study isn't conclusive and you have people who have taking away opportunities from women because of it? You can't fix that once it's been done, can you? So the caution should be allowing trans women to participate in women's sports, not for banning. The caution should be for allowing it until there is more study. The caution should be allowing it before there is more study. I repeat myself. Conservatives, however, show no sign of slowing down in their persecution of trans athletes. It's not persecution. Just this week, the conservative crusade against trans athletes reached a new low as Oklahoma State athletic officials proposed punishing all elite wrestling for featuring a trans woman in its women's division during a show held in Oklahoma City. That's professional wrestling, where the outcomes are predetermined and scripted. Well, I don't give a fuck about that. That's fake shit anyway. Now they're saying we have no right to even be in fake sports. Yeah, well, that's dumb. Again, maybe some people in Oklahoma think it's real. I don't know. Again, the report commissioned by the IOC is just an initial study, and we will need more, but it indicates that there is more to trans athletes' issues than conventional wisdom would seem to indicate. It's also vindication for many trans athletes, writers, and advocates who spent a lot of time and effort trying to explain to general audiences that trans bodies differ greatly from cisgender bodies. No, it does not. It's not a vindication at all. Look, you can... Studies tell you whatever the money tells you to say the study wants to tell. In other words, my study agrees 100% with the people funding it. Then again, the trans athlete debate has never really been about fairness or safety in women's sports. Yes, it has. It absolutely has. I've always been about putting laws on the books that legally define trans women as men as a precedent for passing more anti-trans laws unrelated to sports, so this research will likely not make a difference in red state legislatures. Oh, is this a trans person? Oh, that. Oh. Our hope then is for the sports administrators who've gone all in on trans bans that science is showing their assumptions and arguments are wrong. Participating in sports is a human right. No, it's not. No. But yeah, you can participate in sports, but what category of sports you participate is not a human right. If participating in sports is a human right, I would be in the NBA right now, getting paid millions and millions of dollars at 60 years old and bad knees and hips. But if it's a human right, I would be playing in the NBA fucking A right now, because that's what I want to do. Oh, I can't play in the NBA? That's age discrimination. That is lack of ability discrimination. It breeds healthy habits and fosters ambition and drive in young people. Who cares? Then go then participate in sports against your sex. No one told you to transition. Denying that to groups of kids, teens, and even adults would require much more evidence than the anti-trans crowd has presented so far. No, allowing them to participate against natural-born women, that requires much more evidence. Because you're taking if you are wrong, you have taken away opportunities from natural-born women. Last article. Here's the study. 35 fucking participates. Yeah, that tells me a lot. Last article from Gunfox. Mass arrest made a U.S. campus protest over Gaza spread. Yeah, this is true. That's just spreading because more campuses are seeing what's happening at Yale and they want their attention too. Protests over the war in Gaza have taken hold in a handful of elite U.S. universities as officials scrambled to defuse demonstrations. Police moved to break up an encampment at New York University on Monday night, making a number of arrests. Dozens of students were arrested at Yale earlier in the day, while Columbia University canceled in-person classes. The White House has condemned anti-Semitic incidents that have marred some demonstrations. Protests and heated debates about the Israel-Gaza war and free speech have rocked U.S. campuses since the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th, which prompted Israel's campaign in Gaza. In the U.S., students on both sides say there has been a rise in both anti-Semitic and Islamophobic incidents since then. I bet it's 40-1 anti-Semitic to anti-Islamic. When asked about the rallies on Monday, President Joe Biden said he condemned both the anti-Semitic protests as well as those who don't understand what's going on with Palestinians. So he equivocated. The protest movement was thrust into the spotlight last week after New York City police were called out to Columbia's campus and arrested more than 100 demonstrators. Rallies have spread since then, in addition to New York University and Yale, and campus been set up at the University of California, Berkeley, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and the University of Michigan, Emerson College, and Tufts. Like their peers, the NYU protesters are calling on their institution to disclose and divest its finances and endowments from weapons manufacturers and companies with an interest in the Israeli occupation. One student, Alejandro Tanon, told the AFP news agency that the U.S. was at a critical moment, likening the protest to historic demonstrations over the Vietnam War and apartheid in South Africa. Yes, they want their generational protest. We stand with Palestine, and we stand with the liberation of all people, one protester told the BBC U.S. partner CBS News. Meanwhile, another who stood across the street with an Israeli flag said, "There's one side here and one side of history. This is the right side here." NYU said 50 people were involved in the main encampment outside the business school. It described the protests as unauthorized, saying this disrupted classes. Police started arresting them Monday evening, and they have not provided a number. However, before nearly 50 protesters were arrested at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut, authorities said hundreds of people had gathered, and many of them refusing requests to leave. Well, you'll be dragged out. On Monday, Columbia, headed by Dr. Minouche Safik, Columbia head Dr. whatever, asked students to stay away from campus, citing incidents of intimidating and harassing behavior. Oh, the Jewish students. Classes were held virtually and said Dr. Shafiq's tensions on campus have been exploited and amplified by individuals who are not affiliated with Columbia who have come to campus to pursue their own agendas. Oh, you mean there's hangers-on? There are opportunists? Oh, shocking. Probably some Antifa fuckwads, too. They reported anti-Semitic incidents on Monday, the first day of the Jewish holiday of Passover, becoming just the latest institution to do so. Recent videos posted online have appeared to show some protesters near Columbia expressing support for the unprecedented Hamas attack on Israel. That's fucked up. The Hasidic group, Shabbat at Columbia University, said Jewish students had been screamed at and subjected to harmful rhetoric. Meanwhile, a rabbi affiliated with the university reportedly warned Jewish students to avoid campus until the situation improved. Members of the protest groups who have given public statements have denied anti-Semitism, arguing that their criticism is reserved for the Israeli state and its supporters. Columbia Students for Justice in Palestine say they firmly reject any form of hate or bigotry and criticize inflammatory individuals who do not represent us. Well, kick them out then. Kick the ones who don't represent you out, yell them down, and tell them to get the fuck out, because that's not what you're here for. And maybe you will reassure some of the other people who think you are attacking them. In a statement, Dr. Shafiq said a working group had been created at Columbia to try to bring the crisis to a resolution. Dr. Shafiq last week testified before a congressional committee on Columbia's efforts to tackle anti-Semitism. She faces pressure from different sides, including possible censure resolution from the university senate over a mass arrest on that campus that happened the day after her testimony. Is that her fault? That happened? A group of federal lawmakers led by New York Republican Representative Elise Stefanik has also signed a letter asking for her to step down for a failure to put an end to the mob of students and agitators calling for acts of terrorism against Jewish students. Democrats, too, have called on Columbia to ensure that Jewish students feel safe and welcome. The university's own staff have been critical of handling of the protest. In the statement sent to the BBC on Monday evening, Columbia's own Knight First Amendment Institute called for an urgent course of correction and said outside authorities should only be involved when there was a clear and present danger to people or property. The attack in southern Israel on October 7th saw about 1,200 Israelis and foreigners, mostly civilians, killed and 253 others taken back to Gaza as hostages, according to Israeli tallies. Israel responded by launching. Okay, we know the story there. That's the end of the story? So there you go. Surprisingly, I would say somewhat neutral article from the BBC, and I guess maybe because they have to protect their ass too and not look too pro-Israel and whatever. So anyway, thank you, Gunfox, for dumping those in my lap. Not too big of a rant, huh? Anyway, guys, I got to go. Thanks for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I will drop all these links in the chat as soon as it pops up on my screen. May end up just being in the description of both Rumble and YouTube, though. It's been taking a while. So that's it. I got to go. Thank you. It has been a beautiful, lovely day for me and hopefully for you. Thanks, everyone in the chat. Share the stream. Hit the like button and share whatever. And PDogNight.live, 24 hours a day. You can drop your super chats and or donations there. Or Venmo, Cash App are in the description, etc., etc. I gotta go. My name is P Dog Night, and I'm out here. Bye. Bye. Hey, this is P Dog Night, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Night, and I'm out of here.